This is TPI, the podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome into another new podcast series, Chamber Chat. I'm Lizi Arbogast-Gwynn, sitting alongside Liz Holland. Hey Liz.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I feel like this is cool having us both together since we're like kind of the same person.
Liz and Lizzie.
Yeah, and everyone like gets us confused.
Do you always say, hi, this is Lizzie with the Outlook?
I do.
Because I always say, hey, this is Liz with the Chamber, so everyone knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just we're the same person.
Exactly.
So we are here for a new podcast series, Chamber Chat, where we're going to check in once a month with Liz or someone else from the Chamber about what's going on in Alexander City through the Chamber's perspective. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Good. So first of all, we want to kick it off with talking about Jazz Fest and Sunfest. Big success again this year. For those that don't know, Sun Festival is a week-long...
10 days.
10 days, sorry. 10-day long festival with all kinds of activities from kids stuff and build your own Sunday to more adult events like
Canvas and cocktails.
Yes. Yes. So tell me a little bit about what some of the highlights were this year for you.
Honestly, we had really great participation this year in Sunfest and all of our events. We do Glow Golf, which always sells out every single year. But then, to see Canvas and Cocktails come back for a second year and still sell out is super impressive. There's just a lot of things that we do as a chamber, as a team, that helps and does community engagement in this way. And Sunfest happens to be one of the ones that we love because it's so fun for everyone and us.
Yeah. And why is it so important to kind of host these type of community engagement events, especially when they're not fundraisers for anything, they're just simply for the community?
Absolutely. So some things about Sunfest that we know is that we have a bunch of businesses on our side that help us through sponsorship. So in certain ways, Sunfest is the way that we can connect businesses to the community. They get to bring out a table, they get to set out, some of their business swag, if you will, and then they get to meet the community that would be using their businesses, and hopefully, if we've done our job correctly, the sponsorships that line up for each event, you're getting your target market there. So huge on the business and membership side, but also for the community. These are free events that we put on that people can come and just feel a little bit of that community pride, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought Jazz Fest this year was particularly fun. I only attended the Friday night. Unfortunately, I was out of town for Saturday, but it seemed like a really good crowd. The bands were really fun, and it went really well, I thought.
Yeah, I love Jazz Fest. Actually, the first time I ever came to Alexander City was Jazz Fest with Lacey Howell, actually.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and she brought us here from the lake. We had always come to the lake, but never Alex City. And as soon as we got here, I was like, this is special. I cannot even believe that this is a thing and that I've never been to it before.
Yeah.
People were down there. Everyone's hugging. Everyone's happy. They're dancing. You see people that you haven't seen all year long, but you'll see them at Jazz Fest. And I feel like that's important to have here in this community. Again, I saw it and wanted to be a part of it immediately.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, community pride and just feeling like this is the greatest place to live.
Yeah.
I think that's
it
important.
is the greatest place to live.
It
Sorry,
is.
I didn't mean to yell.
No, it is the greatest place to live. I agree. Another endeavor that the Chamber is getting ready to start on is Leadership Lake Martin, which I'm very passionate about. Full disclosure, I'm a board member for Leadership after going through the class. What do you feel like? Well, let's talk about Leadership Lake Martin. What exactly is it first?
Okay, Leadership Lake Martin is you're going to have classes throughout the year starting in August, and then you graduate in May. So like a true school schedule. But the classes will be basically 8 hours once a month, other than a retreat, which happens in September where you spend the night. Now, the retreat is particularly fun because I feel like that's when you start to truly get to know your teammates. Everyone has to put everything aside, work, family, whatever their extracurricular activities are, put it all to the side and focus strictly on building those relationships. And the coolest thing about leadership is by the time you're done, you are connected in this community in such an incredible way. If you have a problem, you know who to call. You have your leadership team that, maybe these people came from businesses that you work with, that you'll have now immediately a connection to that business. Leadership was great for me coming in this community. I loved it and would recommend it to anybody, whether you've been here your whole life or not, because there's so much to learn about this community because we're always changing.
Yeah, and I think that's what's really cool about leadership. I went through it when I was about 4 or 5 years into living in Alex City.
Yeah.
And so you kind of think, oh, I already know all this, but you really don't. I mean,
No.
there's so much behind the scenes that you get to learn about the way that the city works, the way that, something as simple as the water treatment plant, you visit that.
Yes.
And get to see what that looks like and what that
airport.
process, the airport.
Who knew that Alex City had an airport?
Right, or that
You
it's so
know?
functional.
I mean, I knew because
Right.
of my job, but so many people in my leadership class had no idea, and I'd never seen it, though I knew of it.
Right.
And then going, you see it, and you see what an asset it is to have here in Alex City.
Right, exactly. So I think it's really, it's a cool class. And also everyone is always so nervous about the retreat at first because it is kind of like going back to summer camp.
Yeah, it's an
But
adult
it's-
slumber party.
It's so fun. It's so fun. We always look back on it and we're like, oh, what a good time we had at that retreat.
Yes, same. I laughed until I cried at
Yes.
mine. So it was a good time, but also again, it helped me start initially building those relationships. And I actually had 2 different leadership team members in my office today, and I went through that 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's really a cool network building, but also friendship building thing. I really like it.
Back to the community pride that we were talking about, it instills some of that. It gives
Yeah.
everybody the opportunity to say, this is what's going on in Alex City. This is how many positive things we have going on in Alex City. This is what we need your help with. Let's get involved.
Right. Yeah, and just encourages you to get involved more. So what do people do if they want to be a part of Leadership Lake Martin?
So if you want to be a part of Leadership Lake Martin, reach out to the chamber and Kim Dunn. She would be your number one person to know all things Leadership Lake Martin and get you applied.
Yes, and there are also several board members who can also get you a nomination form if you are interested. So
Yes.
reach out as well. Lastly, on our slate today, the chamber obviously is looking for a new president and CEO. How is that search going?
Good. We actually just had a board meeting on Tuesday where they updated the board on the process. We were asked to leave, as you can imagine, but I do trust our executive board and our board to make the best decision for us and pick the best candidate. We have great people, all business leaders and community partners from this community on our board, and so when the candidate is picked, I trust fully that it will be the right one.
Yeah, and I think we would be remiss to discuss this without talking about how wonderful Jacob was for the chamber and what he did. We're big fans of his here at TPI. So how has it been since he's departed?
It's been good. It's been different. It seems serious, more important that we keep pushing and reaching our goals that we have with our initiatives at the exact same pace. And so though Jacob was our leader, and so he was running full speed always, and we were right behind him, it feels now we are leading the race, and so
Right.
things have changed. It's more important and more serious, and there's things that we have to do to make sure that, again, the chamber are meeting the goals, because it's super important that we do.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're definitely excited. Big shoes to fill, but we're definitely excited for whoever comes in and gets that position and see what they're able to do with our chamber. Because we in general are big fans of the chamber. I think that you guys are doing great work.
Thank you.
So anything that we can do to support that, we want to be a part of.
Yes, but like you said, there is definitely a big hole at the chamber, and myself, Jaden, and Kim are stepping up in every way that we know how to.
Good. We love to hear that. So, again, this has been our first episode of Chamber Chat. Tune in with us once a month, and we're going to talk all things chamber, what you guys got going on, what you guys got coming up, and how people can get involved.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you again. I'm Lizi Arby-Gasquin alongside Liz Holland, and this has been another episode of the TPI Podcast.
Chamber Chat is a production of TPI Media and brought to you in part by TPI Digital. It's all about the audience, and whatever your marketing needs, we can reach that audience. To find out more, go to tpidigital.com or click the link in the show notes.